Hello everyone, I'm your host Atur Bengia and I welcome you all to our talk show. I hope everybody is doing good and everybody is safe and everybody is getting vaccinated for COVID-19, which is available in your nearest healthcare center. So go ahead and get yourself vaccinated today. There is an old saying that doctors are next to God, and the person that I'm going to introduce today is somebody whom I consider as a living God, or I better say and describe that he is a God living among us in the form of human. For doctors are the personification of God, I must say. With me is MD, obstetric and gynae specialist Dr. Jomson Bagra. If you don't know about him, let me tell you, he is the pioneer in introducing IVF in Arunachal Pradesh. IVF stands for in vitro fertilization, one of the widely known type of assisted reproductive technology. To know more about IVF, I would like to ask Dr. Bagra, sir, to give a brief explanation about the new reproductive technology to our viewers and how this technology can sort out the infertility issues among the couples. But before that, I would like to give a brief introduction about his achievement in the field of gynecologist. He has 10 years of experience as consultant gynecologist and currently holding the position of senior gynecologist at Niva Hospital, Naharlagun. He is the first gynecologist to introduce IVF technology in our state and first to set up IVF center at Niva Hospital. If we talk about his medical career, Bagra sir is serving as a General Secretary of Itanagar Obstetric and Gynae Society. He is also a member of Federation of Obstetric and Gynae Society of India. He has been national faculty in various gynecological conferences in India. He is also an active member of Asia Pacific Association of Gynae Endoscopy and one of the executive member of Northeast Association of Gynae Endoscopy. First of all, welcome to our talk show, sir. Thank you for giving us your time despite of having a busy schedule. So my first question to you will be, tell us about your typical routine that you go through.
Thank you, Atta, for such a nice introduction. And I feel actually elated that you have given such a nice introduction. My typical routine, if you're asking what I do, I have been doing the same routine for last 10 years. And since the day I passed my post-graduation, I came here. I had struggled a lot, and right now, in last 10 years, I have been doing exactly the same thing every day. I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, I take bath, then I prepare myself to go to hospital. Usually I keep all my cases, surgical cases, in the morning hours so that I can have a good OPD timing, so that I can see patients on time. So my routine cases usually start at 7 a.m. in the morning. So I go to hospital after taking a light breakfast, or I carry a tiffin. I go to hospital, I operate cases, 2 or 3 cases in the morning, and by 10 a.m. I sit in the OPD. By 1 p.m. my OPD finishes and I have a light lunch, and after that, if there are cases, then I see the cases, I go for rounds, and by 5 p.m. I go for evening OPDs, and by 7 p.m. usually I finishes my all work, but sometimes it extends up to 8, sometimes 9, sometimes even 10 p.m. Sometimes I come late, very late, sometimes midnight also. If I get time, I do a mild exercise for 1 hour in the evening hours. Say when I reach home at around 7 or 8 p.m. I go for exercise for at least half an hour to 45 minutes. I do exercise. Then after going through few books, I usually take rest. That is my typical routine.
Okay. So, sir, you are doing a wonderful job, bringing tons of joy to people's life. Can you take us towards your journey of your educational background?
If you are asking me about my educational background, I started my schooling days from Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalaya. That was long time back. I studied in VKV Sher, VKV Balijan for 2 years. After that, I went to Shillong in St. Xavier's. There also I stayed there for just 1 year. After that, my father took me to Ramakrishna Mission School, Alo. I studied there till my class 10. After that, I went to Narottam Nagar, Ramakrishna Mission again. I did my plus 1 and plus 2 from Ramakrishna Mission School. And through state entrance examination, I cleared up and I went to Indira Gandhi Medical College, Shimla, and I did my MBBS from 99 to 2005. And after that, I prepared for a year 2006 for post-graduation. Then I cleared All India entrance examination and I got selected, and I did my post-graduation in obstetrics and gynecology and Guwahati Medical College and Hospital. And I passed my post-graduation in the year 2010. After that, I took some courses in laparoscopy, in infertility. Then I started working here, and I went to many hospitals. But since 2012, I am here in Niba Hospital.
Okay. So, sir, could you brief us about IVF and what made you start IVF in Arunachal Pradesh? What stuck in your mind that you thought of starting off this IVF in Arunachal Pradesh?
To answer to that, actually, IVF was never in my mind, actually. But when I came here, when I started practicing, I found that every third patient comes with some problem of infertility. They have some sort of infertility in them. They are trying to conceive, but they are not conceiving. And since I was doing laparoscopy cases, minimal invasive surgeries, and I thought, because I was sending, we were actually the gynecologists of Arunachal, most of them, all of them, actually, we were sending patients for IVF in other centers, say Guwahati, Delhi or whatever. So the thought came in my mind that what if I start an IVF center? Of course, it was a very challenging task, but I thought that opportunities do not always come, and if you try something good for the society, someday it may bring result, and it will bring happiness to a lot of people who cannot travel such a distance and spend a lot of money. In the meantime, when I was going to various conferences, I used to talk with fellow doctors how to start an IVF center. And fortunately, when I was in Indonesia, I went to a conference in Indonesia, and one of my friends, we happened to meet there and in the Shangri-La Hotel in Indonesia, and we started a conversation regarding IVF in the year 2018, actually. At the end of 2018, we met, and his name is Dr. Ashish Kale, and we had a long discussion how to start an IVF center. We almost forgot, we did not keep in touch for 6 months, but somehow again we started talking, and we thought that we should start an IVF center. So finally in the year 2019, when the new block of Niba Hospital started, I asked the owner of the hospital, the chairman actually, that what if I start an IVF center here with in collaboration with Asha IVF Center, my friend's center, who actually runs many centers in various parts of India. So I said, with his collaboration, with the collaboration of Asha IVF Center and Dr. Ashish Kale and Dr. Ashwini Kale, who is an embryologist, we can start up a center, and this is how IVF center came up and started working in the year 2019 December. Regarding your question, what is IVF, and tell you briefly actually. IVF is in vitro fertilization actually. This is for those couples who cannot conceive, who has many issues and who cannot conceive naturally. Those are the patients whom we actually do an IVF. And there are many instances. Suppose tubes are blocked, and if there are no eggs and depleted eggs in women, those are the patients who can actually undergo IVF. In IVF, what we do is we take the eggs out of a woman, we stimulate the patient, we give injections, and many eggs are formed. And one fine day, we actually take up the eggs and we inseminate it with the sperm of husband, and embryos are formed, and that embryo is actually transferred to the expecting mother. So that is actually IVF. And IVF definitely is a cutting edge technology in regard to treating infertility, because it is the ultimate step where a couple can seek help for conceiving. Other than that, IVF per se is not a natural conception. It is a conception which is made in a petri dish, and it is kept in an incubator, and the embryos are made. But the results are same as natural pregnancy.
So you are doing a fantastic job, and we are glad that you started IVF in Arunachal Pradesh, so everybody can access to it. Otherwise, there was a time people had to go to other state for it. Well, my next question to you is, hectic lifestyle, late marriages, delayed pregnancies, coupled with sedentary lifestyle have led to twofold surge in fertility issue among men and women. While infertility is a growing problem among the couples, what do you think the couple having infertility issues, or a woman who couldn't get married but wants to bear a biological baby, can take benefit of cutting edge IVF technology?
Of course, because of the stressful life, or because couples are so busy that they actually plan to conceive later on in their life. Suppose it is not just limited to women, for men also it can be done. There is a term called oocyte banking, where eggs can be preserved for at least 10 to 15 years. It can be preserved. Suppose a woman who is at 30 years of age, or a male who is at say 25 years of age or 30 years of age, wants to preserve their egg or sperm. There is sperm banking is available, where sperm can be stored for 10 to 15 years or maybe longer. Similarly, eggs can also be actually preserved for later use. A 30 years old woman who wants to conceive at 40 years of age, she can actually get her egg taken out and preserve it in liquid nitrogen for cryo preserve. We call it cryo banking. So it can be cryo preserved. The eggs can be cryo preserved for 10 to 15 years, and after 10 or 15, when she is ready to start up a family, that can be done.
So sir, could you elaborate more on infertility and laparoscopy?
See, infertility is termed as a couple who fail to conceive even after unprotected intercourse for a period of at least 1 year. Those couples are called infertile couple. And laparoscopy is Durbin ka surgery. Durbin means it is also called minimal invasive surgery. So in gynecology, laparoscopy has a very big role. It is not just for infertility but for other cases also. But laparoscopy and infertility go hand in hand. What we do is, in laparoscopy, we always do fertility enhancing surgery, and these has given so much results that you don't even need IVF in many cases, because IVF is where people cannot conceive naturally, but laparoscopy is actually enhances the fertility of a patient, where we actually operate through small keyholes. It is also called keyhole surgery. So laparoscopy and infertility go hand in hand. Because I was doing laparoscopy for last 10 years, because the learning curve is so long, because I was doing all the fertility enhancing surgeries, I was doing lots of gynecological cases. That's how actually it struck in my mind that if I am doing so much of laparoscopy cases and fertility enhancing surgeries, and it was actually giving results. Many patients came who could not conceive, and they started conceiving after doing the laparoscopic surgery, and it was helping, because IVF is not the first step. IVF should be the last step. So laparoscopy and infertility actually go hand in hand.
So now we're going to take a break, and we're going to be back shortly. Welcome back to the space. So we're gonna continue with our talk show. So in a state like ours, which is struggling to cope with advantage in digital technology, most importantly in science and technology taking place as compared to in other states. So how would you create awareness about the treatment of infertility, particularly in rural areas?
Earlier it was different. For example, I can narrate a story where people used to come, say 5, 6, 7 years back, that the husband has one wife, she was not able to conceive. Then the same person took another wife, second marriage, third marriage. None of his wife actually conceived because the problem lied in the male. So people should understand, actually they should understand that infertility is not just in female. It can male partner is equally responsible. In fact, male partner these days, because of the stressful life, male partner is actually more responsible. So if you see the statistics, it says that these days male are responsible for 40 to 45% of cases, females are responsible for 35 to 40% of the cases, and unexplained infertility is say 10 to 20% of the cases are unexplained infertility. So in rural areas, what we need to do is we should actually start infertility awareness campaign. Actually we should do it. Government, if possible, government should start doing it, because infertility is curable. So we should ideally start awareness camps in villages or nearby rural areas, where we have to teach them infertility is not a taboo, it can be cured actually.
So sir, what inspired you to be a gynecologist?
Frankly, I tell you, when I was doing my MBBS, when I was posted in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, I saw the couples, people, the parents, the new parents were so happy when they were receiving their newborn child. That actually inspired me to become a gynecologist. But in the meantime, I forgot. I started preparing for my exam, post-graduation examination, entrance examination. But when I cleared it, again it struck in my mind that women's health is actually it actually tells you the health of a society. If a woman is healthy, the society is healthy. So my job is to keep the woman healthy so that society can be healthy. That actually inspired me to become a gynecologist, and I love what I am doing.
So how do you feel being recognized as a pioneer gynecologist in Arunachal Pradesh?
To be very frank, I'm not a pioneer actually. There are many gynecologists, senior gynecologists are there. To name a few, Dr. Mala, Dr. Bengia Mala Madam, Dr. Tomar Basar Sir, Dr. Salim Ahmed, Dr. Bengia Chirchi. There are many gynecologists who are doing wonderful job, and they are giving service. And I have learned so much from my seniors. But yes, when I started, you start with scratch, but your hard work really pays you. If you are hardworking, people respect you, people trust you. My patients, they trust me, and this has not built overnight. I had gone through a lot, and I have had sleepless nights also. And after so many years, people, they recognize me. My patients, they recognize me. They refer to me. I get cases. I get lots of patients these days. And to call myself a pioneer, I feel if I am respected the same way after I retire, I'll call myself a pioneer.
Okay. So for a gynecologist like you, it's all about work, patient, and hospital. So how do you cope with your schedule?
My professional work has actually hampered my personal life. In fact, it has hampered a lot my family life. I told you, I wake up at 5 a.m. My work starts at 6:30, 7 a.m. in the morning. So when I go, I usually see my kids sleeping. When I come back late at night, I see them sleeping. So I have the reason that if you are a dedicated doctor, it is very difficult to balance between family life and professional life. So it actually hampers. I get a very less time for my family. Maybe I'll regret it in the later years of my life, but right now I'm trying to balance it. As I'm growing older, I'm trying to balance it. Yes, my kids are small right now, but hopefully if I get good assistance from my junior doctors, upcoming doctors who are ready to assist me and help me in my future endeavor, maybe I'll get some more time to spend with my family. But till now I feel I have another 10 or 15 years with me where I can work actively. So maybe my family understands me, and especially my wife, my kids, they know that father works 24/7. So anytime I get cold, and they say they always think that I am in hospital. This is how they actually cope with my work. They understand that I am very busy gynecologist, and I also feel sorry sometimes that I cannot give adequate time to my family. But this is how life goes on.
Okay. You have been constantly giving service to Niba Hospital. Have you ever thought of setting up your own clinic since you have achieved tons of experience in this particular field?
To answer to that, actually, when I started, I went to several hospitals in Arunachal Pradesh. I was being rejected in so many hospitals that there was no vacancy. Actually, it was not rejection. It was actually there was no vacancy in many. So I had to work so hard because I had to feed a family. So I started working in so many. I was a freelancer initially. So, and in the year 2012, I actually joined Niba Hospital. And after joining Niba Hospital, people started recognizing me slowly, because your work actually is spread by the word of mouth. So people started recognizing me, and what I am, you can see, what I am today is all because of the love the people has given to me. Yes, if opportunity comes, why not my own hospital? I want to have chain of my own hospital in entire Arunachal Pradesh, and I want to give services at par with other hospitals like in Delhi, Guwahati or Mumbai. I want to give a A-class service to the people. But right now I am in Niba Hospital, and things like that has not come up in my mind. But maybe, who knows, in future has lots of surprises for you. Maybe I can have my own hospital later on.
Okay. So sir, coming to the last question. So looking at the students, bulk of people are watching our show, perhaps in high school, contemplating career in medicine, or who just got into the medical college and wondering which specialist to pick. With regard to this, talking about your field, why one should pursue gynecologist?
There are several specialties in medical, and gynecology is one of them. There are many doctors. If you see, we have so many super specialized doctors here in Arunachal Pradesh. To start from our very respectable Moji Jini sir, who is a pediatric surgeon. So, and there are cardiologists, Dr. Roma Tapur, Dr. Rinchin, Dr. Tony Ete, they are cardiologists. And there are urologists, super specialized, Dr. Goto Ganka, who is working in RK Mission Hospital. There are so many specialties where you can work and give service to our people. But the intention should be correct. Intention should be right. If you are becoming a doctor, you need to work. There is no excuse for hard work, and there is no shortcut or other cut like that. If you are becoming a doctor, you have to be sincere enough to serve the people, because once you start giving services, then only you are being recognized. And I cannot advise to anybody who wants to become a doctor, but whoever wants to become a doctor or a specialist, not necessarily he or she should become a gynecologist, any specialty, if a person takes that, then that person has to be a very dedicated doctor. And yes, this field, because we are lacking, we are short of lots of doctors, because if you compare with other parts of the country, they have many doctors. We are lacking with so many doctors and so many specialties. So I hope in future these students will pick up this career, and they will work selflessly and they will work hard.
So thank you so much for being in our show today, and we are really, really thankful for you giving your time for our talk show. Keep watching The Space for more update on the state, and don't forget to subscribe and follow our page on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and Instagram. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.